Yeah, thanks for joining us.
If you've been feeling resistance lately in your manifestation process, it's not always a bad thing. And we're going to talk about that today a little bit.
Yeah, we have like 8 examples of ways that resistance could actually mean that you've changed. And I wanted to read the definition of resistance for anyone who's new here. You know, there's words that are thrown around, and I know we
Yes.
know what resistance means, but let's just read the definition so we're on the same page. So it refers to like internal energetic blocks, like fear, doubt, limited beliefs, or negative emotions that can contradict your desired outcome. And I think, when we're going through this awakening, we hear so much about how bad resistance is.
Yes.
You don't want to have resistance.
And we actually get afraid of
Yes.
being resistant. And
Yes.
That's like the worst thing you could do. And then you end up putting your desired result or manifestation, whatever you want to call it, up on a pedestal. And then it's like it's bigger than you are. But meanwhile, we are the creators, not the desired,
Yeah, and that can get, you're right, a little out of control with that.
If you give something too much importance, that does cause resistance, because resistance can be a negative thing, but it's also a good thing, and that's what we're going to really hit on today. So.
Right. Okay.
And if you guys have any questions besides about resistance, we're willing to talk about anything you might want to ask us.
Yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, we would love to hear from people,
Yes,
How have you
please.
gotten past some resistance? Have you seen change in your life from resistance? All right, so the first one is you notice it now where you didn't notice it before. So there's that awareness. Before you were on autopilot. And let's see, a good example of that is scrolling on your phone. You're scrolling on your phone at night and suddenly you realize, when I told myself I was going to stop scrolling on my phone, I'm going to go to bed earlier.
Right.
And you catch yourself. That's that awareness.
Right.
Where before you would have just kept scrolling. You wouldn't even have thought anything about it.
Yeah, so you might think the fact that whatever you're looking at is negative and that you're in resistance, but the fact that you caught yourself shows that you are changing and that you're starting to be aware of your thoughts and emotions, and then you could change them, because until you're aware of things, you really can't make a different decision and choose to act a different way or believe a different way or whatever it would be.
Right. So that awareness is showing that you changed. All right, number 2, you're questioning old patterns instead of obeying them. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Let's see, you feel the urge to reach out to an old friend, someone that you've distanced yourself from, or maybe an ex. You feel that urge to reach out to them. And you pause, because now you're like, am I reaching out because I really want to connect with this person? Or am I reaching out because I don't want to sit in these emotions?
Right.
So, there's that.
And either way you go, as long as you don't put a bunch of importance on it, like if you reach out to them and they don't seem too thrilled about it, and you just let it go, like, all right, well, I just wanted to say hi and let it go. And then don't dwell and ponder, like, why'd they act that way?
Ruminate.
That means they don't want to be with me or talk to me anymore, and you build it into this big thing. And like you said, you just keep ruminating on it. That will cause resistance. But if you're just like nonchalant and like, okay, maybe, once again, maybe they're in a bad mood, maybe they're tired, maybe something happened, you don't know. And just as long as you do it coming from the right place,
Right.
And don't make too big of a deal out of it.
Right.
Ultimately.
Right. I like that. Yeah, so the power is in the pause, catching yourself. All right, number 3, the things that used to feel normal now feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So your environment hasn't changed, but your internal response has. And I think we kind of talked about this last week with an example at work, like people gossiping or,
Right.
being at tables where you no longer feel comfortable because you've changed inside. And the things that
The things that are important to you aren't important to who you're with.
yeah,
So you kind of feel out of place now, where before you kind of fit in because you joined right in with that
right.
vibe.
Exactly. And now it feels draining. It feels heavy. And, I think that's a great sign that you're changing, that you've changed.
Yeah.
Is no longer, you know, sitting in areas where things just don't feel comfortable.
And you're aware of different things, and your energy is placed in a different place. Like your energy's about the future and about moving on and about peace and joy and love or whatever. And you're with people who are being negative and complaining, and it just shuts you down.
It does. It drains you.
Yeah.
It does. It's draining. Okay, number 4, you feel internal conflict instead of certainty. Old patterns used to feel justified, now they feel questionable. Let's see. Here we go. Good example. You skipped your workout, or a project, or showing up for yourself. And before you'd say, "Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. Just do it tomorrow. I didn't do it today.
Right.
Whatever." And this isn't who you want to be anymore. This doesn't align with you. And it's about keeping those promises to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Keeping promises to yourself really helps build your own confidence too, because then you start trusting yourself. And when you trust yourself, it builds confidence. And then you just carry yourself differently in the world. And when you carry yourself differently, you get different responses from people. You get different opportunities coming your way.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you go out into the world kind of judging people and feeling negative when you go out, you're probably going to get that kind of response back from people. But if you're expecting the best, you're going to get a better response most of the time.
Right.
It's not guaranteed, but most of the time you will.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean, now you're realizing that even though what we were talking about, the gym, let's say you wanted to go to the gym, you skipped it, and now it's affecting you. You're feeling it. You're thinking to yourself, I made a promise to myself. Like, for example, we were talking, we want to be here every Friday now, doing a live. And, there's some mornings, and that's why we're a little bit late. They don't always go exactly how we planned, as smoothly as we thought they would. So instead of just being like, you know what, we're not going to do it today. It's been a rough morning.
Right. We actually knocked our computer off the table, and I was actually wondering if it wasn't just broken, and that was pretty much it.
Right.
And that kind of tends to stress you out a bit, and right before you're ready to go on and talk to people, and it's like,
yeah, we were like, you know what? Wait a minute. We made a commitment to ourselves. This is a commitment to ourselves, and we want to be consistent.
And luckily, our computer did not break. So.
Yeah, I'm using it now. All right, number 5. You're taking action despite the resistance.
Yes.
So the fear didn't go away. A lot of times it's that fear that makes that resistance. You just stopped waiting for it to go away. You're doing it in spite of fear. Like when we were just talking about doing this live. This example was like, let's say you do a video and you put it out there. And you know what? for the longest time, I was really insecure about making videos, and even after I put them out there, hmm,
You'd watch it back and question it.
yes, yes,
Then you notice, oh, my hair was messed up, or my glasses were sitting a little crooked, or
right,
something, right? And then
yes,
that's all you see.
yes,
Like, that's all you'll see is that little tiny mistake.
yes, yes. But we did it, or I still do
Yeah.
them, in spite of the fear. I still
Yeah.
have, I'm still a little nervous about doing videos, but
And when you feel fear too, and you catch yourself, you can choose not, you can re-choose. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm feeling fear and anxiety, therefore something's wrong, I failed. No, just catch it, change it, set your mind right, whether it takes meditation or just making a choice like, no, I don't need to feel like this. I'm one with the Creator.
all right,
God lives in me. I am one with Source. I am Source. And I have an effect on my reality, on my world. And when you start thinking like that, and then it's not so scary because you're way bigger than you realize, and you have a lot more power than you realize.
I think that's the big thing. I think many of us need to learn how powerful we really are. I'm going to move this just a little bit.
Okay.
How powerful we really are. Like, we forget
Yes.
that our Creator is within us, and we are co-creators, and we have way more control over our lives than we've been told or
Yes.
taught. And we forget that. And sometimes it's easier just to resort to our homes and stay in there and isolate and
Well, we're taught too, like everything's about genetics. So if your mom or dad was like that, then you're going to be like that. Either something emotionally, psychologically, or even physically. Like, my family's always been kind of overweight, so I'm just going to be overweight because that's just normal. Or my family's always been really anxious. Anxiety runs in my family, so I'm going to probably have anxiety for the rest of my life, so I better get on like
get
antidepressants.
used to it. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with doing those things for a while, or even if you have to stay on it the rest of your life. But when you realize that's not actually true. Our genetics do not have as much control over us as we've been taught. And if you've ever heard of Dr. Bruce Lipton, he discovered that in 1967. But once again, we haven't been told much about that, have we?
No, we haven't.
And that's why he actually quit his job. Dr. Bruce Lipton quit his job because people didn't want to hear
right.
about this new found truth that genetics really doesn't have the power that we're told it has. And to this day, we're taught, hey, it's all genetic. And literally, Lipton says it's like 1 to 3% of anything about us is from our genetics. And like 97 to 99% is really about our lifestyle choices, our mindsets. That actually controls how our genes act and recreate cells in our body and how our organs function and everything else. So it's more about the atmosphere that those organs are in and that our cells are in. And if the atmosphere is one of a mindset of joy and peace and expecting the best, your cells are going to be trusting you once again, and you'll be recreating new cells that are healthy.
Right.
Whereas you go the opposite way and you're living in a body full of fear and genetics and you don't have any control over it and you're just like, oh my God, what's going on inside of me? And your cells start creating out of fear, and then that's when mutations happen more often and all that. It's really quite interesting. Check out Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's got videos on YouTube as well, and he's got books out. So.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
I like some of his stuff. Okay, number 6. You're aware of the cost of going backwards now. Like old habits don't feel natural anymore. You feel their impact clearly. Like you go back to an old coping habit, maybe overeating, isolating, or numbing out, and it just doesn't help. You feel foggy and heavy, and I got to tell you, I can relate to this one.
Yeah, me too.
I have a habit when I'm stressed out. I will wake up in the middle of the night and head straight for the refrigerator, where I do that. Just I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not hungry, but I'm in there eating. Um,
Usually something sweet.
usually something sweet. I have some chocolate, right? So yeah, and I've gotten out of this, but there have been times, occasionally, where I'll find myself doing this, but I'm aware of it now, and I can put a stop to it faster. Before I just like, well, this is just the way I am. When I'm stressed out, I'm just gonna eat at night. Like I was just accepting it, like that's just something I do, and yeah, it doesn't feel good anymore. I feel like I'm going backwards.
And the whole thing is when you do catch yourself doing things like that, beating yourself up and going into self judgment and self mental torture, like what's wrong with you? Why are you doing it? Like that doesn't help you. Just you know what? Just choose again, re-choose. Just say because you know what? Every second we're new in every second. The past is the past. I mean, we only have now.
That's what I was going to say. We are only in
so
now.
So choose now to be different. And stay on that. And if you slip off again, once again, re-choose. That's all. Yeah. That's all we can do. And remember that we are resting as source, as God. We're all. Even in the Bible it says, "Don't you know? Didn't I say that you are all gods?" And we're all fractals of God, and He's living within us. And I hate to say He because I don't really think God has a sex because He doesn't have to. But the Creator, the power, the source of everything lives within us, and we are also conscious creators.
Yeah.
So.
We are souls having a human experience. So give yourself grace. Give yourself grace if something like that happens. I mean, I tell myself that a lot now. Give myself grace. You know what? It was something I used to do, and my mind, I'm changing it. I'm changing my mindset, and now I'm aware of things like that, and I'm taking care of it.
Yeah.
So that's all you can
Makes
do.
a big difference.
All right, number 7. You're setting boundaries that feel uncomfortable. You're choosing differently even when it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good one.
We have done that a lot over the last couple years.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, especially, if you grew up kind of a people pleaser. It's a tough one to start saying no to people. It's a tough one to start setting boundaries. But you'll find that it's necessary. And it's going to feel uncomfortable.
I just want to say this, too. When I say no to people, I tend to feel like I need to explain or even over-explain. Well, look, I'd like to help, but... And then you're telling them the truth even, but, like, you don't really need to explain. You can just say, no, I'm unable to do that. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You
can do that. Not at this time, or
yeah.
You don't, and I think that's
part of that people pleasing.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. We feel like we have to give an explanation for everything, and we don't. We don't have to do that. That's part of setting our boundaries, and I guess that's part of the uncomfortable feeling. Is before we used to feel like we had to. Well, this is why I can't do it. I'm really, really sorry. And now it's just, it's okay to say no.
Right.
It's okay to have self-care, to take care of yourself first, because, you can't, how's it go? Something from an empty cup.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. I think that's it.
That's it. You can't pour from an empty cup. Can't believe I couldn't think of that one.
Yeah, and it's also good to remember that, you know, we have God's favor. We have God within us. I know I keep saying this today, but it's so important to remember that.
It really is.
And that everything's happening for us, even the things like that. Like when something seems negative, you can learn from that. You could gain resilience from it, learn how to overcome that or to stay calm in a situation. And those are all great skills to have.
Right.
So even bad things can bring good things into your life. And when we are trying to create something or make something happen in our world, just resting in the knowledge that God knows what you want. And I believe he's working on it. Like, it may not happen because we're in these bodies, so we feel like there's time, but you know, God doesn't live in time. So we already have it. It's already within our awareness, and it's within the Creator's awareness as well, because we're one. So our desires are their desire. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Even in the Bible it says, I'll give you the desires of your heart, you know? So seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added on to you. And the kingdom of God is within.
So we are the kingdom.
So we are the kingdom. So seek peace within yourself and joy, and just rest in that. And those manifestations, if you want to, I almost hate to use that word sometimes because it's been said so much. Yeah. But they will naturally occur, and they'll come your way, and they'll just unfold and be revealed to you because they're already there. You're just not seeing them in the 3D at this moment.
That's what I was going to say. Don't look out at the 3D.
Yeah,
no,
that's
not this one. That's a nice view. But, yeah, quit looking to the 3D.
For proof.
For proof.
Because we are the proof. The fact that you want it means that it's already in your awareness, it's in your reach, and it's being unfolded and revealed.
And sometimes for things to unfold, there are things that might need cleared out of your life so that you have the room to bring in these new things. So I like to remind myself of that because sometimes, you know, we think, well, nothing's going my way. Well, you know what? Sometimes things have to be removed from your life so that you have room for the things that you desire.
Be still and know that I am God. So trust. When nothing's happening, trust. When things are going bad, trust. When things are doing great, be grateful. But try to just stay even keeled no matter what. You know, don't let the bad things tear you down, and don't let the big things change you, really. You know, stay consistent, because if you get too excited, and then you almost feel like you didn't, like you're shocked. Oh my God, I'm shocked.
Like it's separate from you.
Yes.
Like you didn't manifest.
You,
oh my gosh, that happened. And that's great. But it does make it seem like we're looking at it like someone else did that
like
for you.
It's surprising. Oh my God, that happened for me. Right. But you deserve it.
And you desired it.
You desired it. So you created it, or you unveiled it or unfolded it. And God did it through you because you were resting in the fact that you are one with the Creator.
There you go.
Right? So
good.
It's a good note to say good night on. Or good day.
No, we have one more.
Good day.
One more.
Okay. Oh,
one
sorry.
More. Okay. You're no longer fully identified. You are no longer fully identified with the resistance. And I think we probably talked about this. So you're starting to separate who you are from what you feel. And I think we kind of covered it when we were talking about manifesting. You know, keeping consistent, even keeled, you know.
Yeah.
Because we can't always allow our emotions to take over, especially our subconscious, you know. It'll try to take over, and it'll try to throw doubt in there. And that's one of the things is, I think, is a good indication is that, you know, when you have this resistance, it's showing that your subconscious is losing grip, you know.
Right.
And so it's trying to grab you back and put those fears in you.
And one of the examples here is it's saying like, you know, I'm lazy. That's just who I am. And we kind of talked about that, but it's like, if that's your self concept and that's who you identify as, you're going to keep seeing more of that in your life.
Yeah.
So that's why that goes back to don't beat yourself up. Just recognize it, be aware of it, and then remember that's not who I am. I am one with the Creator. I have everything I want within my awareness, within my existence, and it's just being revealed to me. And just you can't beat yourself up. It just never does any good. And I did that so many times over the years. That's why I really push that too, because it really just hurts you. There's nothing good that comes out of that. And you know what? There's enough people who will beat you up anyhow. You know, sometimes whatever.
And I
so
think,
you don't need to help them.
And I think from that we can become our own worst critics, and we don't need to do that. You know, we need to stop abandoning ourselves and start truly believing in the powerful beings we are. And so, no, you know, that separation is powerful when you realize that. You're no longer feeling defined by that identity.
Yeah.
You know?
And once again, your thoughts are not you. Man, for so many years, didn't you just think your thoughts are you? What's wrong with me? Why did I think that? It's just a thought passing through your head. There's a big collective consciousness in this world. And, you know, you have things put in your mind from growing up and from people you knew and from things you watched on television. And so thoughts come and go, man. And we're the sky, and they're just a cloud passing by. And I know you've heard that example, but it's the truth. It's hard, and there's the one of the wave too. Like the wave's part of the ocean, you know. It's not separate. It's part of it, and I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
But it's just, it's passing by. That's not you. So don't judge yourself like your thoughts are you. You are God. You are Creator, and you're just observant. You're the observer of those things.
Right.
And you don't have to react to every one that pops in your head. So.
Yes, I had a thought.
I'm sorry.
No, that was my own fault. I went over here to the computer. So, yes, overall, I think we were just conditioned to believe that everything we thought was our own thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes we would get freaked out with our own thoughts, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think even recognizing that is a huge thing.
I remember this may seem strange, but I'm going to share it. I remember as a child, I would wake up in the morning and see how I felt. I would see if I was in a good mood, or I would like wake up and just sit with to see what kind of emotional state am I in right now? Like the point is like I was never taught, like I had control. Even if I wasn't feeling good, you could turn that around. But I just thought like my emotions and my thoughts were running my life.
Right.
Instead of me running my emotions and thoughts, or at least knowing which ones to pay attention to or which ones not to.
Yeah, that's a good example, because I think, you know, when you do that, then you just allow your emotions to run your day. Well, I woke up in a bad mood.
That's just how I feel.
My whole day is going to be bad.
And I'm going to spread it around.
And then that actually happens. If that's what you're thinking, well, my whole day is going to be bad. Your whole day is going to be bad then. Because that's what you're attracting. That's what you're bringing on for yourself.
And that's what
But
you're
yeah,
putting out.
now
Yeah.
we know. Now we know because we've changed that it doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
that. That we have control. We can bring ourselves back to ourselves, and
Self-regulate.
yes, and we can decide what kind of day we're gonna have.
And once again, some people can do that just by noticing it and changing their mind. I think we all can do that. But you know what? Until you're able to do that, take 5 minutes and meditate. Sit down and visualize. Do some breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds and breathe out for 6. As long as you breathe out a little longer than you breathe in, exhale longer than you inhale. And it really calms down your nervous system and brings you to like an even keel, like we were talking about. So until you're able to just snap yourself out of it, which some people can,
Right.
I still use those things depending on how much I'm feeling
Well,
that
yeah.
way.
I mean, we live in a 3D world. We cannot control everyone around us. So
and everything that happens.
yeah, and sometimes we will find ourselves in situations that can bring up emotions, and now we know how to deal with them so that they don't just sit in us for the rest of the day and make us feel miserable or
Yeah.
unhappy. Or
And once again, you're not that emotion either. That's
No.
not you. It's just a chemical reaction in your brain and in your body making you feel a certain way, and you don't have to give it a bunch of importance.
No.
I mean, you may not like it, and you won't, but ride it out, and it'll dissipate, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it'll go away. It'll dissolve, so to speak, in a
turning that volume down.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Joe Dispenza says,
Yes.
turn that volume down. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, yeah, so we just wanted to, I guess, give some hope because I know the word resistance has got such a negative connotation, I think,
Right.
in this community. And I get that because there are times where when you're trying to do something and the resistance really is blocking. But it's also, it's,
A good sign that you're changing because
yes.
you would have just kept going on with your life as usual and you wouldn't have had any resistance because you weren't changing. It's only when you start to change that you start noticing, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want to act like that anymore. And then you can make those changes.
Yeah.
And so resistance isn't always a bad thing. That's all.
Right. Right.
That is the lesson of the day for us.
So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us on our live that we showed up for. Because we promised ourselves. I just wanted to say that.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. And have a great evening or day. You done?
Yeah.
Okay.